PD and stick them there. The process that we utilize is we bring the school administrator on that particular school that has an opening for the school resource officer, and we'll bring Dr. Farrow or Mr. Ward or people from central office to that process. We allow them to interview the candidate for that school resource officer position to find out if they're going to be a good fit for their school, if they understand the culture and environment of that school. So we give the school system more buy-in than actually the Rocky Mount Police Department does. And Dr. Farrow can attest that there's been times when we have not selected a candidate for that school because the administrator as a team, we did not feel they'd be a good fit. So I think that's been a great process of allowing the school system and the administrator of the school to have a 100% complete buy-in for a good fit for their school system as well. Excellent. So we talk about partnerships and collaboration with our SROs being in all the schools and me being over there housed. My office is not at the PD over there. We got direct communication between the educators and officers. So it makes for a smooth transition when we do have problems or run into things in a timely manner. Students actively share safety concerns with our officers, either through the tip line or just in passing in person with them, or the relationships that they build with their people and their informants inside the school system. We are allowed to give instant notifications to our school leaders, and we try to use a proactive response to any kind of event that may fall on. We have a designated criminal investigation division unit that's designated just for juveniles and crimes as it's related to things that happen in our school system. And we're in constant communication with those supervisors and detectives that in that division. And in that need, we do call them out on site to the school system to aid and assist us in any kind of investigation that goes forward. So all our SROs are state certified through the state of North Carolina, which is required by state law. Most of all our SROs are single school assignments, except for our elementary schools. And a lot of our school resource officers are former students of Nash County Public Schools. Then basically that tells them they grew up in that system, they know the culture of school, they know the faculty, know the people of the area. So not only that, they're giving back to their school system and they're giving back something to the community. We have several SROs that were graduates of Nash County Public Schools. In 1995 is when the Rocky Mount PD started the adoption of the SRO program. They saw early on the need for school resource officers and they adopted the program. It has we are our own designated unit under the Community Service Division of the Police Department. We have been since 1995. All right, try next. So our safety plans are co-designed through school collaboration between our SROs and our administrators. Our SROs sit on all the safety teams for the school that they're assigned to with their lead administrator. We have rapid unified response during critical moments, and that helps build confidence and security. All our SROs are trained on single officer response or rapid deployment, single officer response, and solo active shooter response. And we do joint lockdown drills with our school system every year. We do some with law enforcement, where we do a scenario-based lockdown drill, where we actually have a role player playing in our patrol units responding along with our SROs to a scenario in every school that we have inside the city limits. So we have a more unified response, like a normal response to be if we're running to a critical incident. It's more than just, hey, let's check doorknobs and walk through the hallways. We do that as well, but we also have an additional one where we do a scenario-based lockdown drill with our administrators. All our SROs are trained in the I Love You Guys Foundation Emergency Response Protocols, which y'all are all familiar with, that the Center for Safer Schools adopted. Nash County was come on board early with that, and so they are all trained in the I Love You Guys Foundation response. So our mentor leadership is strengthening our schools through partnership-driven training, where mentorships rooted in trust. They offer students long-term support with our students. We have programs addressing bullying, online safety with social media is a big thing that we're currently doing. When it's allowed, our SROs are in there giving those presentations to our students and talking with them about the dangers and stuff related to social media. One of the things that we adopted years ago is all of our SROs are crisis intervention trained. which is a 40-hour class that they have to go through dealing with people going through mental health crisis and substance abuse as well. So everyone that's currently serving as SRO is crisis intervention certified. Our SROs are also certified in youth mental health and combative control techniques. They also all have Police Law Institute and first aid. These are just some of the things that we felt like as a department that these certifications were important for our SROs to have as they're in our school system. All right, next one. So here's some of the programs that we have. We have DARE. Rocky Mount PD has full certified DARE instructors now. We upgraded that from 2 to 4. We also do reading with the child at all our elementary schools every year. We do lunch with a cop every year with all our elementary schools where we go sit down with the kids and have lunch with them every year. That's a program we started many years ago. Also, the latest one y'all familiar with is the gunshot detection systems that is going to come to Rocky Mount Senior High. It's also looked to be expanded with our shots with Tar River Academy and Rocky Mount Middle School as well. So that will be some technology moving forward. It will be another partnership with you all going forward. We also do pack and patrol car every year, where we take our SROs, stand out there in the 100-degree heat for a solid week, and we raise over $10,000 annually. And we are able to purchase over 500 book bags that we give away to the school systems, kids. And we also, with that money, we provide school supplies to every school in the city limits of Rocky Mount to supply this closet as well with that program. All right, next one. So you're talking about 3 decades of positive engagement with students and educators, okay? And we're strengthening our relationship with our officers in our community year after year. And I think when you talk about an SRO, the first thing that you have to have is a good mentorship program. You have to have good relationships with those kids. And the last slide. And I want to thank the SROs for being here tonight. These are the current SROs and their assignments for Nash County Public Schools. Any questions? Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Nash County Sheriff Department, and with Nash County Sheriff Department, we have Sheriff Stone here and Sergeant Bissett.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I apologize. Sheriff Stone had to step out briefly, so he may be in here shortly. Again, I'm Kevin Bissett with Nash County Sheriff's Office, and we have a slideshow presentation as well for everybody. So one, I'd like to appreciate, thank y'all for letting me come up here and speak to everybody. It's important for us to get the updates that we're doing with Nash County Sheriff's Office, because Sheriff Stone is taking a hard stance on improving that SRO program. This is going to be the 2025. You can switch slides for me, sir. So the Nash County Sheriff's Office, we have 10 full-time SROs assigned to 13 schools. And so what that's going to be is going to be that split position between the elementary schools, and then 1 full-time supervisor. I'm the full-time supervisor for the SRO program. And so with that, I oversee all the day-to-day activities and also intervene in the event that there's large activities or concerns going on in the different schools, as well as filling in for in the event someone calls out as sick calls or situations that arise. All right, so I took over this program roughly about 6 months ago. Actually, it's almost 6 months to the day. Angel Rex actually retired from the Nash County Sheriff's Office and was lieutenant with the Sheriff's Office over top of the SRO program for an extended amount of time. She did an amazing job, and there's very large shoes to fill. But with that, the sheriff noticed all the national trends going on across the nation. Is anytime you open a newspaper up, you read something on social media, all you see is potential acts of violence. Some that were successful, some that were foiled by law enforcement before it actually reached the doors of schools. It's unfortunately, it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. Nash County has great people and great students inside there, but we have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. So with that, the sheriff tasked me with reformulating the SRO program. And that actually started at Uvalde, Texas. The sheriff sent me to Uvalde, Texas for roughly about a week to spend time with all the people that was there. As well as, negotiations and conversations with people in Florida and other acts throughout the country or other areas throughout the country where violent acts have occurred. this was grassroots. It's walking in and it wasn't saying, what did you do wrong? It was, what did you do after the event? Because their ending point is our starting point as far as policies, procedures. Is I met over roughly about 100 people over the course of a week, and it was arms wide open. We were the first agency inside the country to actually go to Uvalde, Texas, and speak with those individuals. So the knowledge and wealth was huge. I couldn't thank those people enough, and that's our starting point for the SRO program. And again, it's not that anybody did anything wrong. It's just that the SRO program as a whole has not advanced. It's pretty much stayed the same over the past 20 or 30 years. It's making sure that you're visible, locking the doors, and then make sure everybody's on the bus at the end of the day. SROs are so much more than that. They don't get credit for the amount of work they've been inside there. At any given point, our SROs are just like Rocky Mount. It's their teachers, their protectors, their guidance counselors, their big brothers and big sisters. But they are single-handedly responsible for protecting the most individuals unarmed in one location than anywhere inside the state. You have up to 1,000 people inside one location with one SRO that's responsible for protecting them and the staff that's there. So our goal was to redefine the Nash County SRO deputies. So it's not, again, that they did anything wrong. It's the next evolution of the SROs. And that way, as we pay tribute to the people who came before us and set the groundwork there, but we also need to progress and progress rapidly to make sure that we are prepared for any situation. So let's see, and another one of our goals was more than the SROs in the past years, but also to raise expectations and set the standards to protect the local citizens at a local level, but also the state level. And that starts with training. So like everyone is talking about, the basic SRO training is 40 hours. It includes law enforcement, educator, and mental concepts. There's also FERPA, crisis intervention, de-escalation training, and so forth. All the SROs are again certified in CIT training, which is 40-hour course, talking about mental health, de-escalation training. And then also every year you have to go through the North Carolina Justice Academy for recurrent training, as well as annual firearm training. But we didn't stop there. That's the basics. That's what everybody talks about. Hey, this is what we do. That's great, but we have to go above and beyond that. Next slide, please. But we can't stop there. And you can just slide to the next slide. So all Nash County Sheriff's Office, notice that last slide, that was Deputy Wade. Deputy Wade is also one of our dual coaches. He coaches football and basketball for Nash Central Middle. He was actually holding a ballistic shield. So all Nash County Sheriff's deputies have been trained and issued ballistic shields. This is level 3 rifle rated ballistic shield, so they can really take any impact that you can throw at it. That's imperative because we have to be able to make a tactical approach down hallways whenever we're have fire coming at us. That was one of the big things that we learned at Uvalde. In addition to that, Nash County Sheriff's deputies are also assigned long rifles, as well as having extra magazine capacities with extended magazine rounds. So we have all the ammunition that they would need inside those situations. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best, but we had to prepare for failure. And if you can slide it for 1 second. Up, yes, sir. Yeah, and then Nash County Sheriff's, we also received, we go to a minimum of, as opposed to one-time annual firearm training, we've actually increased that to a minimum of 4 or quarterly firearm trainings now. So that's going to be firearm training, including simunitions training. Simunitions is essentially like using paintball guns. So this is going to be real time. So whenever you walk into a room, if you are properly prepared using proper equipment and techniques, you're going to get shot. You're going to feel it. It's going to leave bruises. It's going to leave you bloody. So this is the stress inoculation to ensure that our staff are properly trained on that. So it's not just one, but it's quarterly. And next slide, please. And if you saw our social media posts, it's we actually just rolled out last week as far as rolling into breaching shotguns. Breaching shotguns is actually the newest equipment. It's primarily designated for SWAT team members and also your military forces. This training has never been rolled out to SROs before that we're aware of inside the state. We're the first program to actually have breaching shotguns. So, and while it sounds scary, the breaching shotguns, with being properly trained, it's a controlled entry into a room that's locked or you can't gain access to otherwise. So as opposed to shooting ammunition, which everybody would consider like a buckshot or a bird shot that goes into the doors, it's actually compressed power. So that compressed powder, it does a controlled explosion and bypasses a lock. And so that way we can make gain entry. Again, we have to prepare for failure, not just one step of failure, but ultimately 3 steps of failure in any situation, because time is going to be live in these situations. Next slide, please. And again, that's SRO Deputy Rodriguez. He's also one of the members of the SWAT team using or simulating using the breaching shotgun dude. And the training also always continues. This is new tactics, and with new tactics comes more training. And so we actually spend extensive amount of time training in different facilities to mimic that of being inside a school system using the simulation rounds. And then we also assisted in the reunification drill within Nash County Public Schools and local first responders as well. And the Nash County Sheriff's Office, we've also reached out and received training from the FBI. And this was directly pertaining to swatting calls. So swatting calls is going to be the false calls of terrorist attack inside of schools. So a lot of times you actually hear firearms going off in the background saying, you know, it's an instance occurring in this situation. It talks about everything from evacuations to shelter in place, how the whole hoax calls actually originated, the groups is primarily affected, and then also the recruiting process inside that. That's been mandatory in all SROs for Nash County Sheriff's Office to complete that training as well. And you can click the next slide. So that kind of focuses on the tactics that we put in place. Now, just for time wise, it's that's been over the past 6 months. And consider we can't take people out of classrooms. So we had to work around the days off inside the summer schedule, which was shortened by 3 weeks. So there's a whole lot of training going on in a very brief amount of time. With that, we also, in addition to CIT training where we had autism training, we actually focused on autism specific training for all our SROs. And that autism specific training, that was actually after speaking to some of our local partners, and they actually recommended going for the National Autism Seeking Hope was the group that we spoke with. They've been a huge supporter of ours. We run a lot of different information by them, and they actually suggested the Autism Society. Through that, all the SROs went through the additional online training for the autism group, as well as partnering with some of our local partners for hands-on experience. And in addition to that, we've also partnered with Trillium Health to continue to advance at both adult, youth, and teen, or adult, youth, and juvenile mental health. And the reason why we're focusing on all 3 as opposed to just one, because at any time, not dealing with just one kid that walks into a school. At any time, it's going to be a parent, it's going to be a grandparent, it's going to be an uncle that may have those disabilities or issues going on as well. And you can switch slides, sir. And so, continuing with our partnerships, we actually partner with the North Carolina SBI. So this is going to be the NCSBI Beta Unit, which is going to be their Behavioral Threat Assessment Unit. The sheriff actually sent myself, Captain Hardy, and then Lieutenant Neal. Lieutenant Hardy and Captain Neal, or I'm sorry, Captain Hardy and Lieutenant Neal, they actually oversee the CID investigation group. So myself, as well as the investigation heads, went through, received all the levels of training through the SBI, so we can actually administer and properly properly gauge and critique the different individuals in behavioral threat assessments from a law enforcement perspective. You can switch slides. In addition to us going through that training, we also sent all SROs through the SRO beta training through the SBI. So they came out, the SBI actually gave a 8-hour course in Rocky Mount where we sat down and went through the training with them. So all the SROs are well versed on the initial phases and process for behavioral threat assessments. So that's important because we're not just offering training and communications inside school systems. It's early recognition, early detection, early intervention, and then we can follow people outside of schools as well. So it's not just in schools, but finding out, make sure they have the appropriate mental health. If situations haven't bled over into the school system yet, we can ensure that they have everything they need to be set up for success, and hopefully curb whatever incident may have been tracking them. And again, 4 out of 10 SROs are actually coaches. It's these are two of our coaches, and again, it's they actually had head-to-head rivalries this year, and Nash Central Middle handed out a pretty significant beating to Red Oak. So there was a lot of talking back and forth, and we actually paid for a pizza party for the Nash Central middle school kids. But it's with that, it's these SROs are so much more than just inside of schools. They're with these kids after school. They're the mentors, the teachers, the coaches, the guidance counselors. And some people, whenever they don't have that father figure, that's where they find that at. So again, it's way more than just that 3 or 4 o'clock time limit. And you can split size of them. And again, we also offer the DARE program. We have 2 designated individuals that teach a DARE. However, we're rolling out with the new program where it's all elementary school SROs will actually be SRO DARE certified. So that's going to be this summer. And again, it's our SROs are so much more than school resource officers. It's a lot of people kind of are thrown off by having the gun and the badge, saying it's intimidation. You know, kids are kind of standoffish. That's the exact opposite. If you walk into any of our Nash County schools, it's fist bumps, it's high fives, it's big hugs as soon as the kids get into the classrooms. As soon as they come off the car line or the bus line, that's what they want to see. So again, it's the big brothers, big sisters. These are just the new initiatives that we put in place in the past 6 months are kind of expansion on that. That's not to count the Sheriff's Christmas, where we actually pay and furnish the toys and food for different families during the Christmas holidays. And then also we have different activities, just like during the summer, we do the book bag events for a couple of days. We host a 4-H camp. But that's stuff that we do every year. Y'all have already heard about that. These are the new initiatives we're really pushing for. All right, y'all have any questions?
Any board member have any questions?
No, sir.
We would like to thank all the SROs for what you do for our students and teachers every day. Thank both groups for coming down and presenting to us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, transportation update, Mr. Bauer.
Good evening, board.
Good evening. Can we sign up SRO officers to drive buses too?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. All right. So reviewing these numbers, you might be asking your same thing that I done. These numbers seem like they never change.
Say that.
So for the past 2 years, you know, transportation's been hiring 3 drivers, losing 2, hiring 3 drivers, losing 1. It's been back and forth. So if you go to the next slide. Better. So in between 2024 and 25, we had 18 drivers to leave Nash County Public Schools. You know, between resigning, retirement, medical issues, but we had 18 of them leave. This year, we have a strong applicant. Next, please. This year, we have a strong applicant of bus driver applicants. I mean, a lot of them. I don't know if it was due to Rocky Mount or what, but probably in the past month, we probably had 30 people apply for a bus driver's position. As of right now, we have 4 that already had their S&P on their license, and we're just waiting for them to get their training. That's not in this number. So you could add 4 more drivers to that number. we do have a bus class coming up November 3rd through the 7th. The bus class is including, we have 4 monitors that have been monitors forever. Now they were interested in driving a bus. We have 7 teacher assistants that are required to take the license. Then we have 5 new applicants from the ones I was telling you about earlier. And then we have 4 teachers that show interest in the bus class. Next page, please. You asked for a transportation update on mechanics. We are still struggling with some of the mechanics, but everyone that we're hiring through this staffing agency is working out great. We have 4 right now that are putting their hours in. Once their hours are up, we could actually hire them full-time with Nash County Public Schools. And hopefully, by the end of the year, hopefully we'll have the number of mechanics that we need. So go back one. Annual mechanic training. So this is the training that we have to, that we require to give mechanics. Most of their training, it actually comes from our conference. But just like last week, we had a training, a C2 electric on a YV bus. I don't know what that means, but it was an electrical problem on a bus. So we had an instructor to take a look at it, teach all the mechanics that were there at that time on how to fix that bus. If you click on the NC training, these are the trainings that have done at the conference. And this is more in depth of the training. They're able to get multiple trainings done in the week time that they're there. But that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
How many drivers are you short right now? To be fully every bus, every route
Every bus, every route.
short.
I would say we need about 125 drivers. We're at 97 plus 4. So that's 103. We've got 16 AM and PM drivers. So you could figure that is 8 drivers. So
Need another dozen ish. And you got 17 in the hop.
in the hopper. But of course, that bus class is for teachers that aren't going to drive the bus every day. They're doing field trips. With the TAs are going to work their own, but we do have 5 full-time bus drivers that want to drive for us 5 full-time in that
Out of
class.
those 17. Out of that 17.
Mhm. And it keeps on adding. I told them, I said, don't put them in the class unless they finished all their hiring.
So
On board.
if we had a Covey shot again, we're only adding 5 to the fleet.
Mhm. For the 4, we're adding 9 because we already have 4 of them already have the license that not in the numbers yet. So we'll pretty much have 9 once they get their license.
So another Covey shot day would help. Right.
Mhm. I know Fred Gardner, he resigned from DMV. Found that out last week. So we don't have a supervisor or instructor at this time. We've got Robert Hart. He worked for us. He's training. Hopefully within the next month and a half, he'll be here all up and ready to jump in. All right.
Since I go. Go ahead.
You got 10 resign. Is that a normal number for the month? Or was that high? And did they say why?
Well, it wasn't for the month, it was for the year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are they
So-
saying why they're not?
going Wake County, probably at least half of them probably went to another county. Bus drivers stay and they move around a lot. That's why we just picked up 3 that work for us. But they probably coming from Wayne County, Edgecombe, Wilson, they got tired of working there, so they're coming back here. I know the 4, was it 4 that retired? And 2 of them, they already reached out to me and said, hey, Mr. Bauer, when can I come back? So,
Any other questions?
Thank
I've got one since we found out that we got SROs coaching. That we had gone out and asked SROs, are they interested in driving the bus? They will make more money than coaches because that would be a year-round job instead of just a 3-month sport job.
yeah. You might not be able to do that SRO job then.
But coaching comes after school too.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, we could drive them to the game.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ask Ms. Tracy Barnes and Ms. Sandy Quincy to come and do a presentation. This kind of started when our last meeting, I think committee meeting, when Ms. Rorson was presenting on Infinite Campus and the number of parents who were signed up. And we set a goal of 50%. That the goal has since changed to, I believe, 75%. But I wanted them to come and give a little more detail about the Infinite Campus and the way we communicate with our parents and how they interact with the system. So that's why they're coming tonight.
Good evening, board members. Dr. Ellis. I'm Tracy Barnes. This is Sandy Quincy. We work in student information, and we just wanted to go over some information with you guys tonight. Go ahead to the next slide. So we want to talk about the Infinite Campus Parent Portal. Last year, was our first year as a district in Infinite Campus, which is the platform that houses all of our student information. You can go ahead, Jermaine. So we're looking back to where we ended last year. So for 2024, 2025, this was our first year parent portal. And what parent portal is, it gives those parents access to their child's attendance, grades, behavior, report cards within the platform. So when we ended last school year, we ended with 54.6% of our parents that had actually signed up for the parent portal. So the next question is, where do we go? So where are we going? So our goal for this year, as Dr. Farrow just mentioned, by June 2026, we have set a goal to increase our parent portal and guardian contact within Infinite Campus to 75%. And we're going to do it in 2 ways. We're going to do it with our parent portal and also with our Campus Messenger 2.0. And this is ways that we can improve our effectiveness of home and school communication. All right, so here's some action steps, some things that we are doing. So Sandy, if you would tell them those action steps.
Okay, so we send out a reminder every time a parent's email address is updated in Infinite Campus. They get an email that day stating for them to sign up for parent portal. They get one at 2 o'clock. And then we also add it to 5:30 because the 2 o'clock really, it's been going on for a year now. It wasn't really reaching that many folks. So we did the 5:30 and it has raised tremendously in 2 weeks.
Yes, because 5:30 people are typically home from work. And so that 2 o'clock send, that we still do it. We still do it because we do capture some parents, but we found within the last 10 days that people are really reaching out after we send that 5:30 email to those parents and signing up for the portal. Also, we share parent portal data and analytics with our principals. We did that on last week. We've let the principals know that we've set that goal for 75%. So the expectation is that they work with their teams at their schools to increase their parent portal numbers to 75% by the end of this school year. And then the last thing that we do is an action step. Sandy and I are gonna be coordinated with the schools to set up parent portal information tables at their school events. So we're gonna work with those principals to find out when we have those school events, whether it's a curriculum night or PBIS night, whatever they are scheduled. We're gonna sign up and have a table there so that we can increase that engagement, increase that sign up with parent portal. So here's where we are now, and this is what we're talking about. We started at like 56.4% 10 days ago with parent portal. We are now at 62.2%. And Sandy just pulled those numbers since we've been in here. So schools have really been making more intentional efforts to get those parents signed up for that parent portal, and we've increased the numbers now by more than 5% within those 10 days. So our goal, our target is 75%. And so we think that's a good achievable number, especially with this only being our second year with parent portal, and we kind of ended the year hung around about the 55% goal. So to go 20 percentage points beyond what we had last year, we think is something that we can achieve. Now for Campus Messenger 2.0, that has only been active for 55 days now, I think. We didn't use this last year because we had rooms, and ThrillShare was our main school to home communication with parents. But this year we have Class Dojo, and we also have Campus Messenger. And this is a way we communicate with our families using email, text, messages, and phone calls. And so we've also set a district goal for this as well to be 75%. But this is something that just started 50 days ago. So where are we now? So we're about 55%, 54, 55%. But the pros of having Campus Messenger 2.0 is that it is live data at all times. So we're able to look at it and get live updates. We have the ability to build our own specialized groups for calls, meaning schools can set it up for communication to go out from school to school. It can go out from the district to all schools, or might be the basketball team or whatever team, but we can set it up for have specialized groups for calls for us to be able to send out communications. Also message ability to students, families, and staff. So we can set it up where it could go out to the families, just the families, or we can set it out to go to students, staff, and families. Also streamlined attendance calls, reminding those parents if the kids are missing those that 3-day, 5-day, 7-day, 10-day for their attendance, keeping up with their attendance. Also built in a filter to select groups based on various criteria. So we look at different things and we can build a group based on that particular data set. So we are about close. So we're right now 54.3%. And this is just 50 days out, 55 days out since school started. So our target for this year is 75%. And I feel very hopeful that we will reach this goal by the end of the school year. And so here are additional action steps that we've done to make this happen. We will make an intentional focus on the percentage of families not receiving. So we want to look at those families that are not getting information, and we're going to start our push there. Sandy will have those data managers conduct those checks on families not receiving those communications, and we're going to continue to update the familial information daily. Also, she's going to make sure that those reports are pulled weekly to progress monitor and follow up with the provided school. So she sends a report every Friday so that they are aware who's not getting the information. And then also the last step is analytics will be tracked monthly. So we track those within our student support services meeting, and we look at the delivery success of our email, our voice, and our text communications to those families. And we update as we need to. Any questions? Yes.
So obviously 100% would be what we want.
Right.
Why are we not there? What's missing? Why is it not there?
Part of, which means for parent portal or for Campus Messenger, which one?
Both.
Okay, parent portal, the issue is that we always gonna shoot for 100%. That's what eventually by our 5-year marks to get to 95 to 100%. The issue is with parent portal, parents can go in, like if they become, part of the parent portal at any time, if they say, well, I don't want to keep receiving all these emails or these texts or these calls. from Nash County Public Schools, they can go in and make changes to their account and disable how they want to get their communication.
So if I opt out,
Mhm.
my number here is gonna go down.
Yes.
But is there not some way you can report to us to make it not look so bad to say 62% are participating, 10% chose to be out?
Well, the only nuance with that, with the numbers being the way they are, just keep in mind, we are in the first 50 days, so those numbers actually are pretty good when you look at the analytics, because it's only 50 days into the school year, 55 days. So our goal is to be 75 this year, but when we look at our strategic goal moving forward for the next 5 years, we're gonna get closer to that 95 to 100%.
But like I say, if in analytics, if I opt out, I shouldn't be in the formula.
Yeah, if you opt out, it's gonna make our numbers for each parent go down.
Cause you're a parent.
Okay, but I'm in there, but the connection rate. It's really misleading information to me that you're only reaching 54 out of 100 people, when 50 people could say, I don't want it. So it's not your fault that it's at 54%. I mean, if we know that information, the number would be a
Yeah,
higher.
continue to increase with the action steps that we're putting in place, because those had not been there before. So we're doing things and being intentional about putting things in place to try to increase the numbers. Because for one, a lot of parents, what we're realizing, don't even know about parent portal, don't know about campus messenger. Talk to some parents, they're not aware. So we have to do things in order to make them aware that this does exist and this is a way, because last year we sent report cards, for example, hard copies. This year was the first year we don't do report cards as hard copies. A parent can come to the school at any time and request a copy, but they're not going out in mass like they have in years past. They're going through the parent portal. So we've seen those numbers jump about 7 or 8 points just in 10 days, because parents want to know how their child is doing with their attendance, behavior, and everything. So.
Let me ask you this question. Is it possible to run a report showing the individuals who have opted out?
But do you mean opt out, meaning they don't want a phone call? Cause some people are choosing to get text versus.
Cause it's
they're
it up
choosing to
different.
email.
Point. That's a good point. If I'm getting a text, you're notifying me. If I'm getting an email, you're notifying me. If I'm getting nothing and I opted out, then that number is really misleading to us at 54%. Out of 100 people, if 25 said, I don't want to be notified,
That number will go up and down over a period of time. It will increase, but it also.
and you have 50, then you have 54 out of 75 really in
Yeah,
a
but
percentage.
again, what I try to stress, because we are still new with this platform, that these numbers are only a couple months. The data is only a couple months old.
Right,
So
but I
we
think you're
expect-
picking up what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we
It's fairly
expect
not
it
fair.
to continue to go up, but yes, we can print a report of the parents that get on the text, on the email.
I think what he's asking is there a way that we can determine who has opted out and they're not getting anything? And so Sandy said that she's gonna look, she's not sure, but she will look into that to see if that is something that is possible.
Wait, Am I on the right track? If 25 people out of 100 don't want to be notified, then your numbers are truly how many out of 75 are being notified?
But the whole goal is to ask why they don't want to be notified, because you're talking about report cards, you're talking about grade. That's
I'm gonna
like-
disagree, but if I don't want it, it's making your numbers look bad. It's making your number look bad to us.
We made, you have some parents that don't want to be, notified.
Right. And that's kind of misleading us in the numbers a little bit, because if I don't want it, you can't force it on me. So,
But that's just kind of where we are, like, today.
and when you get 75 people, you're at 100, then you can focus on those other 25 to sugar them up.
Focusing on looking at those parents that aren't getting anything and trying to make sure that we do events. We have things with the principals so that at the school level, so that we can get those numbers to increase.
So
and try to
when you
increase that
take a
engagement.
new student, John Doe, they're created into this portal with information that you have, or does the parent have to initiate it?
You mean if they just enroll?
Yes,
Yeah, they're
the
created.
parent, they're created by us.
The the information for the phone call, the text message, and email is created.
And
That's
that's
very-
online registration process.
And that depends on if the information we get is accurate.
I think the report card's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, and it has, and it has.
It's
So,
in the-
Can I interject for just a second?
Yes,
So as a parent who uses this, everybody, there's also a settings function within that program. And so that's where I, as a parent, have to go in and check each one that I want, whether I want an email, a text message, a phone call, or all the above. And so everybody who is speaking right now is actually correct. But the numbers can actually change at a moment's notice. So if I go in right now and elect to just do emails and none of the rest, all I have to do is click the button. When it turns green, then I get that option. Right now, I've got all of them set for green as of 2 days ago because I just happened to find that option playing around in the system. So now I get the emails and the phone calls, whereas used to I just got the phone calls. So what I believe also needs to happen is that the two presenters are on the money about getting people trained, because I had no clue that that system was even in there for the settings.
So there's my third, fourth, fifth, whatever question. When we create somebody, so we leave that blank, require them to log in and I guess choose what type of message they want. Why are we not checking all the above?
They choose it, but that's only for our new students. The issue is our past students. We've got to train the parents on the ones who are already been here for the last 2 years. They haven't had that option.
yeah, because when we,
So those check marks are left blank.
Well, the data man filled by their contact sheet.
Okay, so there's my point. I think if you go in there tonight and ask the software company to go in and check all of those boxes, what will your numbers look like the day after? All of them are false? Or all of them false, yes or no? We don't know.
no, we won't know.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you automatically check all of them, your numbers possibly could go up the next day. If they're still not getting it, we don't know that they're not getting it either way, but we're leaving those boxes blank on our end. We could increase our numbers tomorrow by automatically checking it. The parent gets an email, text. It's a piece of software.
Yeah,
Or you want me to falsify numbers just to come back and show you?
And I'm gonna come back to that, but, Mr. Gray having. I had a quick question, but can we actually go in and check all of that for a parent? Isn't it the parent's responsibility to do that, and we are not allowed to do that? Is that correct?
So if I could.
Okay, I didn't think we could do that.
So one of the things that we want to do is that we want to make sure that when we're getting information for this platform, that we're getting correct information. One of the things that the ladies did not talk about is that we already know that we are battling a process of having incorrect information. And I'm not trying to bash parents or anything, because we appreciate parents and all that they do, but there are some parents who just do not give us the correct information. And so some of the times when we run these reports, we will get information back saying that it didn't go through, valid, or whatever the case may be. And so one of the things that we have focused hard on doing is making sure that we have accurate and correct information as it relates to parent contact. So one of the things that we don't want to do is we don't want to go in and just click everything and then it's not correct. What we really want to do is put forth the effort to make sure that we are training parents, that we're reaching out to parents, that we're communicating about what we have in place to try to get this information up. And again, that this is not something that is new to us or anyone else in public education. If you ask people about data, they will tell you it's about every school year. What we want to do is we want to try to make sure that we're getting the best, most accurate data that we have for parents. And in order to do that, we have to train, teach, share information, and then we have to rely on parents to give us that information.
I think the report card is gonna make a big change. Because it's just like the individual schools that having a PTA meet, you either gonna have parents come because there's a program that their child or somebody related will have, or you're trying to feed them.
Mhm.
That's where attendance improves automatically.
And Mr. Bissett, I don't want you to think that we're being dismissive of your concern, because it is a concern to us as well. And so we just want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to get the most accurate data.
And I think you are, but I think it's just like Mr. Edwards just said, I did not know. So yes, it's a training piece. But if we had by default clicked all those notification pieces, he would have been getting it. So there's one more of your 75 or one more of your 100. So, I mean, I just don't understand why by default that can't be clicked. And I've heard some people say we can't do that by law. I'll refer that to Weber,
I
but
think what it is, more importantly, is that we can't take away the parents' right. It's just like if we go somewhere, we don't want anyone automatically opting us in.
but they have the
think-
option to opt out. So we're not taking anything from them. When you enroll in that system, you enroll in our school system, you get that. If you're getting these notifications, one of those notifications could be, if you don't want this, opt out.
And again, I think, and I don't want to go back and
Yeah,
forth, but again, I think the most pressing issue with that is that if we do that, some of them we're going to get right? Some of them are not going to be right. And unless a parent tells us, we're not going to know that we don't have good data. And so that's why we have taken the other thought, and that is to put the onus on the parents, and then make sure that we're doing our part as a school system to provide information, to train, to work with parents when necessary, when the opportunity presents itself. It's an imperfect game. And we know that we have to try to be out in front of it, and we are. Some of our schools are doing a really good job. Some are struggling, quite honest, they're struggling just because of the specific populations that they're dealing with. Some of our populations are, they move about a lot. And so it's that kind of that juggling act. But again, what we believe is the most powerful thing is to make sure that we are sharing the information, that it's readily available to parents, and that we're able to assist when they need help.
So go ahead.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it gets to an accountability and responsibility. It's very simply, we have an accountability to the parents, and they have an accountability to their students. And you can't mix, you can't cross the two lines. We just got to make sure we're doing what we need to do to get the information out. And if they don't want it, we can't just push it down their throats. This ain't gonna happen. It's the same when kids get in trouble. If the parents don't come, that's probably the reason the kid's in trouble. And it's just a responsibility issue, and it's accountability for both sides.
And our commitment to the board is that, we're committed to making sure that this remain a priority for us. Again, because clean data and good data is important, and being able to be transparent and being able to communicate effectively with your community. So that is our pledge to the board, that this is not something that we're just sweeping behind us, but it is a priority for us.
So I think one thing that would help, and this is the last data I received, I think from both you two, was it broke it down per school. What would help is if we broke it down elementary, middle, and high. High schools are the ones lagging behind. I think some were 32%, some were 30%, and you've got some elementary schools sitting at 89 and 91. I think that would help because being a former high school principal, it was tough to get an opt-in for a parent to plug in and they want this and that. It just didn't happen. But when you got schools, and I know there were 4 on that list in the 30s, basically high schools, that's going to bring it at 56. If you did middle and elementary, I was real pleased with the percentage of parents opting in. And it goes back to what you're saying. It's about report cards. It's about progress reports, but it's a different. So I do think that if we could break it down different, I'll send it to the board in the weekly calendar so they could kind of get a gauge of some of that. Yeah. That would work. Okay.
Really actually has that.
Yeah, I saw one of them.
I think when the parent did not get the hard copy report card, that's gonna make you
And it has.
Mm. That's exactly right.
Thank you.
And then one thing, like just to kind of, the note that Dr. Fair said, That's why we are starting with the parents that don't get anything. So Sandy sends that out every Friday to the data manager, so the data manager work with those parents to get their information correct and their data clean, so that they can get those correspondence through parent portal and campus. Any other questions?
Any other questions for student support services?
One more.
You got
Mr. Edward.
Edward, go ahead.
You said we're also using the Messenger 2.0. How much are we contracted in that for?
The contract.
That's the state platform.
It's a state
That goes free. No.
camp.
What?
Which is why I didn't understand this question in the beginning, but now I do. That's why we do not use Rooms and Thrill Share, because Campus Messenger was part of our Infinite Campus transition, so it's a free third party, so we're gonna use, that's why we started using Campus Messenger.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure the public understood it.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? I will entertain a motion to adjourn the student support services. Motion by Mr. Whitfield. Do I have a second? Second by Dr. Washington. All in favor, say aye. All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
And I'll ask you a quick question. I just thought, are we doing anything in Spanish on this stuff?
Yeah, we have it in, they have it set up for Spanish.
That could affect.
Yes, we do. And the principals have been asking about the directions for parents to sign up. So we know that high schools is our Lord, but we have actually had some reach out about getting those parent portal directions so that they can share out in their, their announcements throughout the week. Yes, sir.
I will let the board know tomorrow night, we have a meeting with joint session of the county commissioners. Starts at 6. A meal will be provided Monday night, November 3rd. Committee meeting starts at 5. Board meeting starts at 6:30. Any other questions? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Weeks, second by Mr. Whitfield. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion